Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is something else. Like, I want something else other than what's here. And we're going to have a look at the power in wanting what's here and not being fixated on something else, which takes us out of the present. Anyway, before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And this time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, your molecules, your electrons, and creating this brilliant beam of light from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together. Rub your hands together vigorously, feel the friction and the temperature and the energy. And as you stop and release, feel the buzzing and allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Rosalind. So good to have you here with us. And welcome to everybody else who's joining us. And so today we're talking about something else and how we tend to put our attention on what's not here instead of what's here, and how we are always thinking about something else and what that might offer us instead of what's here. And there's so much power in being here. I'm pulling a card. I'm going to pull some cards this morning. I don't know why, but I am getting inspired, and that's what's here. So instead of something else, we're just being right here. So while I'm pulling this card, I'm just going to think about what where this is coming from is the tendency to compare reality against an imagined way that things are supposed to be, right? That's really what something else is. This shouldn't be this way. This should be a different way. So here I'm going to pull the card, and I'm going to give a shout out to my dear friend, Veronica Lynch. These are her cards. This is the Divine Doodleometry Oracle cards. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, because of my background, it's not showing. There you go. Divine, whoops. Here, maybe there. I figured out how to make it show. Divine Doodleometry Oracle cards. So let's see what the card is. Propagation. The spreading. So let's see what she has to say about that. Let me see if I can find it here. Propagation. You are ready to receive the seeds that will come to harvest in the years ahead. So propagation. And when we talk about, let's see how that might connect with something else. Good morning, Bernadette. Good morning, Isabel. Welcome, guys. It's great to have you here with us this morning. So we're talking about something else and how we can tend to squander our energies wanting things to be different from the way they are. And sorry, my cat woke me up at 5:30 this morning, and I hadn't gotten to bed until kind of late. So my cat's name is Jewel. She's my little alarm clock, with her own timing. And so I am a little bit tired. I'm gonna pull another card today too. I don't know why the inspiration for the cards, but hey, I'm just rolling with it. So there's this other deck that I bought because I just I saw it and it was so beautiful, and I decided to treat myself. I haven't bought tarot cards in years. I have a bunch of different decks, and this is called the Phantasma Tarot. So I'm gonna just pull a card, and we can be thinking about what's here right now instead of something else, or like right in this present moment, instead of wanting it to be something other than it is. We'll just check this out. What did I get? The Two of Pentacles. The illustrations for these cards are just so awesome. Cats. It's funny, I was just talking about my cat, right? So let's see what it says. Isn't it pretty? Bernadette says beautiful. I just the illustrations are so fanciful and beautiful. So Two of Pentacles, let's see what it has to say. Okay, Two of Pentacles. As time moves on, this duo adapts to change with a continual and delicate rebalancing. Even one small shift could knock them off axis, but they remain flexible and poised while staying in step with the dance of life. The message is keep yourself in balance through planning and limit the amount of work you take on at one time. The key words are balance, flexibility, resourcefulness, juggling life, and partnerships. So maybe let's look at how it might connect with what we're talking about. And rather than something else, maybe we get to be present to what's here rather than wishing it away. And I just have seen how we can so easily, Bernadette says it's like a rooted tree. Yes, yes. So a rooted tree, when I think of trees, the tree that comes to mind for me most often is the willow, because it has deep roots into water, and it's a very important plant for water. And it's also got these deep roots, and it's got the movement, the flexibility. And that's kind of what we're talking about, being flexible in the wind. Bernadette says, yes. So being able to move with circumstance, to be able to keep our balance, and the thing about balance is it's not static, right? It's a constant, like you're saying, Bernadette, being flexible with the wind. It's a constant readjustment, a constant dynamic of movement and shifting and change. And I think that when we stop focusing or fixating on something else, meaning things should be different from the way they are, there's that should word there, then we get to be responsive to the moment. And it was very interesting, having some conversations yesterday where people were talking about, well, wait a second, this isn't this isn't the way my life should be. My life was supposed to be this other way. There's the song, I'm trying to remember who wrote it, and I'm not remembering at the moment, but this is not my house. This is not my beautiful wife. This is not, like, this is not the what I signed up for, right? It should be something else. I didn't sign up for this. And I wonder, what if we did? What if we did sign up for this exactly as it is, with all the triumphs, with all the tragedies, with all the heartbreak, with all the ecstasy? What if we did sign up for this? And, like years ago when I was going through really deep, dark stuff, I think if somebody had told me I'd signed up for it, I would have punched them. So I can understand if you might feel like you want to punch me for that. But now as I look at my life, I can see where all these things just sort of fit together and have been very much part of my learning. And even when there is pain, even when there is tragedy, sometimes those deeply wrenching, agonizing experiences are the experiences that move us most into a fuller expression of who we are. And so the something else is our way of resisting what is. And the more we resist what is, the more we create pain for ourselves. So, good morning, Jenny. Welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. So, Bernadette says, I wanted to be rich in money. And you and probably most of the world, Bernadette. And it doesn't mean you won't be. And when we get to be where we are, then we are releasing the resistance of wanting something that isn't there, and then it opens up possibility. And Jenny says, I do want something different. And I there's the emoji, the frown emoji. So I get it. I get wanting something different. And the thing is that wanting something different is more deeply embedding what is. Unfortunately, it's a paradox, because we know that the contrast gives us a sense of what we do want, right? Sometimes we need to know what we don't want to know what we do want. But Jenny says, you look beautiful and glowing today. Thank you, Jenny. I received that. Thank you. That's very sweet. Maybe it's lack of sleep. I don't know. But it's when we allow ourselves to accept what is, when we allow ourselves to be present to what is, there's a profound freedom. It takes so much effort to be wanting something else or to be resisting life as it exists. And when we free up that energy, when we allow ourselves to be with what's here right this minute, not compare it to the way we want it to be, not compare it to something that isn't here, then we relieve ourselves of so much suffering. You know, I can tell you I've spent a lot of my life wanting things to be different. And I know how painful that is. And oh my gosh, Jenny says, by the way, happy Elephant Day. I love elephants. I did not know that there was a dedicated Elephant Day. That's wild. Thank you for sharing that, Jenny. Elephants are such amazing creatures and so smart and so family oriented. They're really remarkable creatures. Rosalind says, waiting for conditions to be here before vibrating, expanding into. So that's the challenge. You know, we're going to talk about manifesting in a minute. So Rosalind goes on, would that something else feel like home if it was already here? Well said. What would I be doing, saying, and feeling if the conditions are already here? Exactly. So Rosalind, you're talking about manifesting. And so many of the things we want because of what we believe of how they will make us feel. Okay, so much of what we want because we believe it will create a certain feeling. And the fact of the matter is that we can create that feeling beforehand. We can create that feeling now, and that's creating a frequency, an energetic frequency. And if we create that energetic frequency, it's attracting like frequencies. So this is such a great example. I have a dear friend who was wanting to sell puppies. She has puppies, and we did a process. We did a session around this to manifest the puppies being sold. And so what she did, and she's such a powerful manifester, what she did was focus on seeing the puppies in their happy new home, seeing the people that were so excited to be having them, feeling the joy of being able to share this lovely puppy with another family. And she was really into it and really feeling it. And then she was like, and I want it now. And that I want it now just kind of blew up the other stuff, because what it was saying is, it's not here right now. I want it. It's wanting, meaning it's not present. And so we worked on that to relieve that resistance. That's where wanting things to be different is creating resistance from allowing the things that we really want to be drawing to ourselves and our lives. And it was wild because she was able to release the I want it now and just see it happening, feel the joy, feel the excitement of these new families having their puppies. And right after our call, somebody reached out to buy a puppy and bought the puppy. So it's interesting, you know, it's paradoxical that in wanting things to be different, we're kind of setting up resistance for how we want them to emerge and evolve, right? It's kind of paradoxical. It's quite a dance, you know. It's like, well, when you're manifesting, how do you let go of the wanting of that thing? Well, by stepping into the having of it, to be stepping into the experience of the fulfillment of that desire. And the more that we affirm what's missing, the more entrenched the missingness becomes. So it's kind of mental emotional gymnastics, but when we're emotionally aligned, you know, with the relationship, I hear you. Jenny says, I want my family back, and to resolve my relationship with my daughter, it makes me depressed. Yes, I hear you. I hear you. And what I'm going to suggest, Jenny, and it's not easy, is that you allow yourself. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of, it is a twisty thing that we have to do in our brains to make this happen. Jenny says, I call it a mind beep. Mind beep, like we're beeping out that last word. So here's an experience that I had, and I'm just gonna put it out there because we're capable of this kind of beautiful magic. And that I had a fight with my dad. My dad's since passed, but there was a time when I had this fight with him. Both of us were really stubborn. I wasn't going to call him. He wasn't going to call me. And then I thought, you know what? I don't want to perpetuate this mess. And I just meditated, and I saw this ball of love, this light ball of love, and I just connected to my deep love for my dad, despite being pissed and hurt and angry and all of that. I connected to the deep love, and I just saw this love ball go and position itself above his head and then burst, and all this love coming down on him, and just really connecting deeply to that. And I have to tell you, I was shocked. He called me, and all he said was, I love, love, love you. And that was that conversation. Didn't mean that all my challenges and his challenges, our challenges with each other, disappeared. They didn't, but it was really, really powerful. And so the thing is to be nourishing and nurturing that connection and in your heart, despite the circumstances, with that goes beyond the circumstances, to just be connecting, because you can bring your family back into your heart in a way that isn't heartbroken. The heartbrokenness is constantly affirming the loss. And it's not, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's trivial. It's a big deal to try to do that. But it's something that will make you feel better. And that's the place to start, is to bring your family and the love for your family, not the loss, the love for your family back into your heart, and presence them in your heart. And that will shift your experience. And it takes work. Because we're so acclimated to the loss and what's not there. We want something else. And we really truly do have the ability to presence the richness of that love in our hearts, regardless of circumstance. So Rosalind says, this may be feelings that have been pushed aside that need to be brought out into the air for release and healing or manifestation. Yeah, so there are a lot of feelings. When we feel hurt, when we feel angry, we get to look at what's going on in there. This is the path to mastery, is to be being aware of and responsible for our own experience. And so if I'm heartbroken, what is going on? What am I telling myself? How am I interpreting experience that is having that effect on me? How am I describing this to myself? So Jenny says, that's cool. I send good intentions of love to them often. And so Jenny, when you're doing that, I'm presuming that that feels good. You know, that when you're in that space of loving and sharing that feels good to you, because it's not being in the loss, it's not being in the lack, it's being in the fullness of the caring and the love and the connection and feeling that connection deeply. And that will have, that certainly has the potential to heal you. And that's the place to start, you know, to be relieving yourself of all that pain and anguish. And so exactly, Jenny says it's all I can do and have control of. Exactly. That's true. That's really true. And we cannot control other people's behavior. We cannot control the way other people think about us or feel about us. We cannot do that. We can shift our own experience. So instead of wanting something else, we get to create what we do want, right? And we can do that in this moment, you know, to allow that things are as they are. That happened. And then we get to create the meaning that we make in such a way that it hopefully is life affirming, right? So that's it for this morning. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. And I go live here each weekday morning on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I invite you to please check out the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network, EWN One with the Earth, and Enlightened World Living. And Jenny says the present is a gift. Indeed it is. Jenny, you know what? I forgot it's Friday. Jenny says, have a nice weekend. So everybody, so much love to you. Have a great weekend. And I hope to see you again here really, really soon, like Monday. And meantime, so much love. Take care.